I met Jidenna. He's so fine. He is so fine. He is beautiful. He's tall. He's moisturized. Okay, I'm back. Y'all, I met Jidenna. I really met Jidenna, the chief, the classic man himself. I met Jidenna. I really feel like I manifested this into my life. I think about him all the time. The minute he announced the tour dates to the 85 to Africa show, I knew I had to go, like, no matter what. The tickets were very reasonable. They were only $25. I tried to recruit some of my friends to go. They were either fake busy, or they just weren't interested in going. So I decided to go myself. I purchased the ticket myself, and the show was on Sunday, November 3rd. I didn't get off work till 6. I went straight to the show from my job by myself. As soon as I got there, I went to the bar. It was at the Fillmore, Charlotte, and I proceeded to get tipsy so that I would calm the fuck down. I found a really good spot at the side of the stage. Everybody that was there had really, really good energy, so I didn't feel awkward because I was by myself. A cute group of girls was beside me, and I would take pictures for them, and they were really funny and sweet. First, I'm going to talk about the tour and the show and show a couple clips, and then I'm going to get to the good part, which is when I actually got to meet and hug and attempt to have a conversation, a meeting. And when I say attempt, it's because my brain was on fire, like when SpongeBob couldn't remember his name. The show was great. He had 2 openers, which was Kalichi. I hope I'm saying his name right. But he was wonderful. His name was Kalichi. And then Deontay Hitchcock, who was great as well. The show started promptly at 8 o'clock one time. They were probably on stage, I want to say 20 minutes each. There was a little bit of intermission, and then Jidenna got on stage. I had been stalking his page for a while, so I kind of knew what to expect from the show. The set design was amazing. The Fillmore is a pretty small place, so it felt really, really intimate. He definitely interacted with the crowd. He jumped in the crowd quite a few times. I caressed his leg when he walked by once. But it was great. He pretty much performed every single song off of 85 to Africa. He talked to the crowd a lot about investing in yourself. It was very positive energy. He did also a lot of my other favorite songs from him. Of course, he did Bambi, which is like, I mean, if you're watching this video, you know that it's the intro to my channel. He did, of course, Long Live the Chief. Long Live the Chief. Cockroaches in the breast. Hand-me-downs with the patch. Mama put a little money in the mattress. Taught me how to make a silver spoon out of plastic. You can either sing, swim, or be the cat. Get the last word, I'ma get the last laugh. Now they say Jidenna while you're dressing so flax. I don't want my you can either leave, follow, or get out the way. But make a fucking move, it will make my fucking day. I got 100-year plan. You think about the day, always been about time, wanna been about day. Can't rock with me. Who say couldn't run with me? She gonna find you, young come coming at best. You can run a little company, nigga at worst. I think he did 2 points, but I don't remember. That's one of my favorite songs. I feel like I might have imagined it. I don't know. It's all like in a daze now. But what else did he do? Trampoline, the Let Out, just pretty much, and Classic Man, of course. Of course, he did Classic Man. It was a great show. I know there's still a couple dates left. If he's coming to a city near you and you're a fan, even if you're not a fan, I would still recommend going because he did a really, really amazing job. I'm glad I went by myself since I've only lived in this new city, which is Charlotte, for a little over a year. I have friends, but I don't have a lot of close friends nearby, and it's hard to get our schedules together. So a lot of activities and things that I have to do by myself. So this was definitely one of those moments where I'm so glad I went, and I didn't let the fear of being alone in such a public space stop me from going, because I would have been so upset with myself. So that's one of the main reasons why I absolutely had to go and get a ticket, regardless if anybody was going to go with me or not. So absolutely love the show. Listen to Jidenna, 85 to Africa. It's my favorite album from him so far. My favorite song, Vaporizer, is one of my top songs. Listen to Sufi Woman. I feel like it's about me. The other half, just go listen to Jidenna's album. I'm a really huge fan. The good part. So, how I met Jidenna. So, I went to the merch table. I was going to buy a t-shirt. I ended up getting a meet and greet wristband. I was very confused of how this process was going to go. I knew it was going to be awkward because I was awkward, but I was like, I'm doing it. I'm here. I was given a meet and greet wristband, and they told me to just wait after the show and I would get further directions from there. I was very confused because I was very awkward at the end of the show. I didn't know what to do, but I was going to meet Jidenna, so I figured it out. There was this girl standing by, and I heard her talking to, I guess, somebody that worked at the Fillmore about, like, hey, what do I do? So I just instantly was like, hey, you have a meet and greet wristband. And I basically followed her around. She was really, really sweet. She actually got Jidenna to sign her arm. I think she said she's going to get it tattooed. I'll put a picture of that because I took a picture of it. So long story short, after the show, waited around for about 20 minutes. I would say it was about 20, 30 minutes. I don't know. At this point, I was very tired. It was close to midnight. Not tired enough to miss this opportunity for sure. So luckily, when they created the line to meet him, I was like maybe 6th in line. So 6th or 7th in line. They told us, make sure you have your phones out. You know, you get a hug, he'll sign your shirt. So they told us to have our phones out on camera, just to speed up the process. Gave us the logistics of how it was going to go down. They said you have one question, whatever, you know, you take a picture, blah, 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 blah. In my mind, I'm like trying to just like calm down because I knew that like I was trying to make this as legal. I'm just a naturally awkward person. Just go with it. So I knew in my mind how I wanted us to pose, but I didn't really have a question because I didn't have a question. I just wanted to hug this man, and there was probably 50 people behind me. So I was like, this man just put on a show. Like, I'm not trying to, I've small talk people all day at my job. I know he ain't trying to small talk right now with strangers. When it came to my turn, as soon as I turned around and saw him, I walked up to him because they were like, tell him your name as soon as you see him. So I turned the corner like a kid, like, hi, my name is Whitney. And I walked up to him and I went to shake his hand, but he was coming to hug me. But then I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna hug you. So then I hugged him and we embraced in his body, and he was so moisturized and beautiful, and it was great. And I had on a Frida Kahlo t-shirt that I got off Amazon. And he was like, oh, I love Frida. I was like, oh, I love her too. I have her portrait tattooed on my thigh. He was like, oh my goodness, that's dope, or whatever. And he put his arm around me. We took a picture, and then I was like, no. I want us to pose like this is like our wedding, like our commitment ceremony. Like we're expressing our love to each other. So he held my hand and he looked deep into my eyes, and you know, those light, beautiful eyes that he has. And I was just being goofy and silly and whispering I loved him. I was like, I love you. And it was just goofy and silly. He was so sweet. And he's such an intellectual, and he was genuinely trying to have a quick conversation about Frida Kahlo. But my brain wasn't accepting that. My brain was like, sir, do you see you? Do you see you? You think I can talk to you right now about one of my patron saints, Frida Kahlo, when I'm looking at such a beautiful man? I may not even like experience another man like this in my life. So he signed my shirt. It says Whitney Hearts Jidenna, which I absolutely do. I would have preferred it the other way around, but it's okay. It's my only critique. I'm so glad I had the experience. I am still on a high from it. He was like talking to me about Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo's marriage, and I was like, yeah, they're really human or some shit like that. I don't know. I just couldn't comprehend it. I was so impressed by him trying to make a genuine connection, because I felt like he wanted each individual person to feel like they had a connection, and I really respect that. In my mind, he could have just said hi and bye, and I would have been thoroughly impressed. So I'm so thankful for this experience. I just wanted to do a quick little story time about the experience I had at the 85 to Africa show. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to post more consistently and grow my channel, just talking about my spirituality. I just posted a video about my favorite crystals, which I will link in this video, and I will link it below. Thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram at Ugly Witty, Twitter at Ugly Witty, Snapchat Ugly Witty. Literally everything is Ugly Witty. Stream 85 to Africa. It's an amazing album, and you should have that in your life. Thanks.